This podcast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned. You have been warned. You have been warned.
1, 2, 3. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Potty Mouth Records podcast. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to the Potty Mouth Records podcast.
All right, there we go.
Rootin' tootin' spewers of poo.
All right, ready for this shit?
Ready.
Fuck. I hate this. Do, 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 do. God damn, it's way too high. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you stay in your range.
Well, so I had this fucking vision as I was starting at the beginning of Strange Brew. When they go to do it, they have like he mocks it, or not mocks it, he lip syncs it, and it's like this full orchestra, or I can't talk right now, full like orchestra type version of it versus just him doing that.
Okay.
And that was in my fucking head as I was starting. I'm such a moron.
So you're going epic style.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I was like, yeah, I saw Dave Thomas doing it, and I saw his Took all going, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Hey, I mean, like I told you a few weeks ago, you started something that is going to be your fucking call sign, and it's going to be annoying to have to keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
It's all right.
think you should stop it. Stop it before it gets out of hand.
Put that shit down.
Yeah, you're quickly becoming the do guy.
Oh my god. I don't want to be the do guy.
Yeah, and then you can't get out of it.
Shit.
Well, so oh
go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Oh,
I
no.
have
I got nothing for you.
I
What's your
have
story to start the day off? Because I'm sure you have some random shit that happened that's far more interesting than it's happened to me.
well, I don't know about that, but I did
walked
get
the
it.
dog and he didn't shit. That was about the highlight of the fucking day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some better stories than that.
Okay. Well, there's where I'm at.
So after the last episode, Dave hit me up
Oh no.
and he told me that he went and looked because as far as I know, Dave actually still has some copies of the Natural Born Pervert 7-inch.
Uh-huh.
Like he has old stock of that still. And he went and looked in the liner notes of that, and turns out that I was correct, but I didn't know what his name was. But in the Natural Born Pervert 7-inch, I thought that Matt Powell had a different name even in there. And Dave confirmed that he did. So his name on that 7-inch was King Ding Dong.
Oh my god.
I completely forgot about that one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that made my day to get that text.
Oh, they send you a picture?
No, he didn't. What? I have all that
Sad.
shit scanned into the computer and stuff.
Oh
But,
yeah, but you couldn't research it and fucking give the rest of us the King Ding Dong.
well, I don't know. Whatever. I don't remember why I didn't research that far, but I guess it's just for me, like he's just always Dr. Fuck in my mind. Like I
Yeah.
know we all had different names and stuff, but that's just the one that kind of stuck with him, and it just kind of made the most sense. But I was like, oh man, King Ding Dong was like pretty good too, though.
Oh my god.
And I actually heard from him yesterday as well. He had listened to the last episode, and he was just like, he's like, I hear you on the Limp Bizkit thing. Like, he's like, I never really liked them either, and kind of like tried them out. And he was like, I was kind of getting into them, but he said the one thing that like turned him back off on them again was he watched some, like, I don't know what it was exactly, but like maybe a documentary about when they played the Woodstock Festival in '99. And I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it yet, but I guess there was some drama with them at that or something. And he said it made him like hate them all over again. So I was like, well, if I ever want an out, I know I can like go to this documentary and fuel my hatred over again.
But isn't that the one that kind of stopped them for a while? Like, I think they'd come back, but there was like shit went totally awry. Like, it wasn't a little shit. It was big shit.
Oh yeah. I don't know anything about it. I'd have to look into it.
It's not like a Loki poo. It's more like my poo. It's a toilet clogger.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, maybe I'll hold off on watching that for a while. So till my phase is over.
You were so stupid.
But it was just funny because I got a text from him. He sent me the link to their new record, and I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh man, that's funny."
Oh my god!
And so
fucking dog.
Yeah. The other thing too that I wanted to bring up, just because it like was really, really, really fucking awesome, and I highly recommend anyone to check it out who's a fan. And even if you're not a fan of the band and you are just a fan of music documentaries in general, but I watched that Guar documentary that it's on Shudder, the Shudder channel.
I just saw an ad for it, yeah.
And seriously, it's really, really, really good. I mean, I'm a huge Guar fan, as most people know, so I was really stoked on watching it anyway. But really, beyond even it being Guar, just they really they interview a lot of the people, and they delve into like a lot of the history of the band and just member changes and reasons for member changes. And I learned so much about that band I didn't know. Like I always felt like I knew a good bit about them, and there's a lot I didn't know. And I didn't realize there was like so much beef and drama within that band.
Oh yeah, I would assume most bands have beef and drama.
Yeah, but it was like pretty next level though. I mean, like literally, like, well, like I said, I don't want to like spoil it or anything, but I do like highly recommend checking it out. Like either, like I said, if you're a fan of Guar, you have to see it. If you're not a fan of Guar but love music stories, like it's pretty intriguing, and like, yeah, big time into it.
I'm sucker for that shit anyway, because like I've stated more than once, I'm not an Iron Maiden fan, but whatever the fucking one documentary they have on either Netflix or Amazon, I watched it and was fucking awesome. Like I was all in, and I just kind of like what do you want to say, glazed over when they kick into playing songs. But the documentary itself was badass. Like I'm a sucker for those. Like what is it, Sound City or whatever?
Oh yeah.
That one's really good. That Dave Grohl ended up buying the fucking mixing board out of.
Yeah.
Like it moved into his own studio.
Was that like Muscle Shoals thing or something? Is that what that was? Or is that a separate one?
It might be a separate one. This one was like the history of this studio. And it was like Fleetwood Mac did like Rumors there. Rick Springfield did Jesse's Girl. And it was like oh shit, I'm trying to think. There was some other big, like it was Tom Petty's big recording studio.
Yeah. Well,
and then until the drum machines kicked in, and that apparently fucking killed everything there, which is so crazy to think about.
Yeah. Well, I might be wrong about this, but I think that the city that recording studio was in it's called Muscle Shoals is the name of the town. I think.
You might be right.
Yeah, I think that's what that is.
I know. I don't live there.
Well, the Iron Maiden documentary you're talking about, is it the one where they were like touring around on the airplane?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good. I've seen that.
Well, that's because that's what I think brought up the whole story. How our one game started. Maybe this is a segue into the game. Was me watching a Duran Duran Rio fucking album in the making, and how much work Nick Rhodes actually did instead of, I don't know. The keyboard players never clicked in my head as an integral role in the band.
Yeah.
And so to hear him in like his perspective, and everybody else is down filming in wherever the fuck they filmed all that stuff for Rio and that whole album.
Yeah.
Like he was in England, fucking Matt, working on the tapes and producing the shit out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that all that stuff's cool. Well, ever since last time when we kind of brought this up, I've really been thinking a lot about this, and I think this is like a really cool topic, and I think this is a cool thing. Not even like the game aspect of it, but just if you're a musician at all, or just like music, it really got me thinking just how much the keyboardist is a very like is seems like is always a very underrated member of any band they're in, and just that they're I have created a list of bands to talk about.
I
What?
just came up with the best one.
Oh yeah,
The most integral fucking keyboardist. It's Dr. Teeth from the Muppet Show.
oh my god. Hey, I can't even dispute that.
All right, I'm sorry to sidetrack you. It just kind
No.
of clicked all of a sudden. I could just see him fucking playing on the piano. I was like, how do we miss him?
Yeah, well, he's definitely not on my list, but no, I'm glad you thought of that. That's definitely like right in your lane of like a character to think of too.
Oh
So
my god.
that never would have came to me, but no, that's great. I mean, but yeah, perfect example of like there's so much music that you listen to and you like maybe I don't know, like I guess where I kind of was really fond of this as a topic is I've never been in a band that's ever used keyboards until I started like doing my solo stuff. And then I started putting keyboards into shit. And it really started to make me think about songs in a different way of like, you know, like your bass and your drums and your guitar can be sort of like the core rhythm section, but then it could really be the keyboard part that sort of like gives the song its hook or like gives it the emotion that it's like needs or whatever.
Yes.
And I think like just in mainstream or just all music culture in general, like from like a rock band standpoint, you know, like the singer and the guitar player, like usually the two people that are out in
Pussy
front.
getting motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're the PGMFs of the band.
Or penis. Oh, PGMF goes both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Penis getting motherfuckers or pussy getting motherfucker. Whatever way you want to go.
Totally. So I think that just in general, people are conditioned to it's the singer and the guitar player that sort of, you know, they're the driving force of all the bands, but it's like I mean, maybe from an aesthetic, you know, like obviously the keyboard player's kind of stuck in one spot. And I mean, there are some keyboard players that rock out, but for the most part, you're kind of stuck in the back doing your thing and you're not out front. There's real no exposure for you to the audience much. So I don't know. I feel like I want to give some shine to dudes, or my list is all of guys, but like I'm sure there's women that are killing it too. But there's people that don't get enough shine who deserve way more shine than they ever get or did get. So the first person on my list that I have, this was like my number one, and this isn't taking anything away from the two main dudes in the band because my thing is for Ween. So like Ween's one of my favorite bands. I love them. And, you know, Diener and Jeaner, they're sort of like the two main guys. They write all the music and they are the band. So that being said, their keyboard player, Glenn McClelland, without him, like honestly, that is not the same band, probably more than anything on my list, because I've learned how to play a bunch of Ween songs over the years on guitar. And not taking anything away from the songwriting, but their songs are pretty basic. I mean, all their songs can be stripped down to pretty much simple 3-chord acoustic guitar songs. And the songs really don't become what they are in the album form until the keyboards are put in, like where the keyboards go. Like you strip the keyboards out, it is not just atmospherically and emotionally, those songs are completely different without the keyboards. So they're like my first pick. Some of the other ones I have, like, and I'd say that this guy got a good bit of shine too in the band, but still he was overshadowed by the two main guys, I would say, but it's Pink Floyd. Like Richard Wright, their keyboard player.
Yeah.
He like wrote so much of like helped in the hit writings and stuff. But he's always overshadowed by like Gilmore and Waters. But he like with you take him out of Pink Floyd, that's a completely different band.
Right.
Depeche Mode, Martin Gore from Depeche Mode. You take the keyboards out of Depeche Mode, it's not the same band. The Cure, take the keyboards out of the Cure.
I don't
I mean,
know.
they've had multiple keyboard players, but just in general, take the keyboards out. It's not the same band. But I think for me, I think in addition to Ween, the other band to me that really stood out as the keyboard player, maybe not so much underrated in the band, but definitely overshadowed by the singer. And would be a completely different band without this guy playing keyboards in the band is the Doors.
No, I was getting ready to fucking say that.
Sorry.
Like that he is so underrated. The fact they didn't have a fucking bass player.
Yeah.
So all the fucking bass is coming from that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like when you think of the Doors, it's always the Jim Morrison imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But to me, I'm a sucker for those types of, I guess, piano sounds. Like when I've been trying to think of the ska band that they kind of use the same like tones, and like they're fucking like, it's to me very attractive. Like it's haunting in a way, but very I don't know.
Is it the I might be wrong about this, but maybe like the Hammond organ? I'm not
maybe
sure
you might be right.
Played.
Yeah,
but yeah, but Doors, dude. I mean, like you nailed it with the Jim Morrison is all the imagery. You got the like wavy haired, good looking guy who's like your front man. Like obviously he's gonna be the forefront of all your marketing and everything. And I mean, he's got I love the Doors, so he's got an awesome voice, and not that he didn't make the band what it was in his own right, but yeah, Ray Manzarek is super underrated and super talented, and without him, maybe that band didn't even get as popular without him.
And yeah, well, I think that sometimes the theatrics of the lead singer overshadow the bands themselves.
It's almost like, and I mean, this isn't the best comparison, but it's the first thing that came to mind. But it's like G.G. Allen. I mean, I know that's like not a great comparison, but it's like, like his band, like, his brother Merle was like a good bass player, and like everybody in his band were like decent players and stuff, but no one gave a fuck about that because it's all about like him doing his antics. And I think it was like that with the Doors. It was just like, girls coming to see him sing, and then like, what fucked up shit's he going to do on stage? And it's like the music was just secondary when it shouldn't have been.
So with the G.G. Allen stuff, I like all the shit I ever picked up or bought, like all sounded like it was going through the fucking trash compactor. Like it was just it was never good. Like,
yeah,
even I can't even remember the fucking albums I have, but none of them are good. But there are tracks like from super early G.G. Allen where it's fucking all like it's music, like it's a band playing and he's singing. Like that super early shit is like, it's so good. And it's just bizarre that, I don't know, you take the road down the rolling in shit and glass and cum.
Yeah. It's like it just became spectacle more than being about the music.
Though don't get me wrong, I think it's very important because I hate watching guys fucking just stand there and look at their guitars.
Yeah, he took it in a completely different direction. It's like it's like over here on this side of the scale are people who stand and don't move while they're playing, and then on the opposite end that is G.G. Allen.
Yeah, where it's just I don't give a fuck and just goes.
Yeah. Well, so the other thing I kind of in that same sort of realm, were people who are just underrated in the bands they're in, like in general. Maybe not just like, not a keyboard player, but I think maybe one of the more underrated band members of all time is Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath.
Okay.
because and maybe he's not like underrated per se, but I just think he's just in another band where it's like there's other members who like get way more shine than him, but he's so important to the sound of that band. Like, cause Iommi and like Ozzy get like all the fucking,
Yeah.
accolades for the most part, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I don't know. He's just a person who comes to mind for me right off the top of like people who don't get enough credit. Another person I have on my list is and these are just kind of all over the place. They're not, I don't have like necessarily punk ones or metal ones or anything, but is Mick Mars from Motley Crue.
Nice. That's a good one.
Because that dude to me, like if that guy is not the guitar player of Motley Crue is they do not become famous.
Right.
Because I mean, I like Motley Crue a lot, but like, and whatever, they all are decent in their own right at what they do, but you don't have Mick Mars, you aren't as good as what you are. Another underrated guitar player, Malcolm Young, AC/DC,
Oh Jesus!
Angus's brother.
Nice. I'm like, nope.
Yeah. And the final one, I have two other ones that I had on my list was Mike Campbell, who is the guitar player for Tom Petty. And that dude, he co-wrote like a good bit of the hits, and he's like super underrated guitar player. And again, he's Tom Petty's guitar player, so he's not going to get as much shine.
So that happened with David. I watched a documentary, and it was about David Bowie's guitar player. Like, they'd been together forever, and I can't tell you his fucking name. Like, and he was an integral part of the Bowie sound and everything. It was just, and the fact that I have no idea who he is, but I even watched a documentary on him, but it's just like gone.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. And well, in that same kind of thing is Billy Idol's guitar player. I think his name is Steve Stevens. I think maybe, but yeah, that dude pretty much wrote like all his shit. And
was he from Generation X?
Yeah, I think he was in Generation X as well. Not sure about that. I think so though. But yeah, anyway, so that
he was involved with writing that, I mean, because like what was it? Dancing with Myself and something else was a Generation X song that they brought forth as Billy Idol when they started just packaging him.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, so I mean that dude's been with him forever.
Or Rebel Yell, one of the fucking two. Whatever. They might have both been Generation X songs.
And actually the final person that I had on my list, because I wanted to add a female. And I don't even know if necessarily she's underrated either, but I feel like she's gets a lot of hate, and I just think it's completely unnecessary and unfounded, because I think she's like one of the best drummers, like male or female. I loved her style, and I think how she played fit the band perfectly, but is Meg White from the White Stripes.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. If you're there,
because she's definitely, like he always sort of like was the focal point of the band, even though I think she was too, but he went on to do his solo stuff, and I don't know, he was just kind of more of the shining star out of those two, I guess, but she deserved just as much.
So here's a little fucking stupid trivia question.
Yeah.
Do you know what band he played drums for?
I do know that. Goober and the Peas.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Because I went to buy the CD because I couldn't find the first one, or I couldn't find the second one. I couldn't find one of the two. So I went to buy it, and like on Amazon or something, it was something fucking ridiculous because his name was associated with it. Luckily on eBay, people don't give as much shit, and you get a realistic price for something. It was like, oh, that makes more sense.
I can't remember. I have a Goober in the Peas CD, and I remember when I found that out years ago that he played drums for them, I went and looked in the liner notes to see if his name was in there, and I honestly can't remember if he even played on the one I have or not.
I think he did. I'm trying to think what name he went by.
Because he had a different name.
They all had stupid names, because Doc, I think, was the guitar player. Shorty. It was a Shorty. My Shorty might have been on bass. I still listen to them on occasion. Like he's really good. Apparently, he was in the Johnny Cash movie. He played his guitar player and Walk the Line.
The Goober and the Peas guy?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I think he's in a band called Blanche, or was in a band called Blanche. It's been a while.
Well, it's cool too, because it's just cool that Jack White was a drummer, and then on his he put 2 records out this year. The new one's actually really good. I picked that up, and I picked both of them up. I like the newer one better than the one from a few months ago, but the one from a few months ago had a song on where he plays all the instruments on it. So, and that song's actually one of my favorites off there, but it's just cool. Like, it's like kind of a throwback, there's probably lots of people that didn't even know he was a drummer.
Right.
So
that kind of blew me away, because he was definitely not the shining star of the band. Those guys were fucking awesome. That was falling into the category of, they didn't blow Mojo Nixon away, but they were really fucking good. And you're like, yeah, those guys are good.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know. So we had 2
Skid
others.
Roper. Unsung Hero.
Yeah, there you go. That is a good one. Yeah, I never even would have thought about that. So the other 2 sort of games we had were,
I got what, and I don't know his name either. So I like the Dresden Dolls, and it's Amanda Palmer, who I believe was formerly married to, I can see his face, Neil Gaiman, and her drummer, whatever the drummer's guy's name is, can't remember. Fucking
is this underrated? Is this an underrated member? Is that what you're saying?
Because she gets all the fucking credit. Like, she is was the name of, like, it's her. And he was just like I don't know how I watched this stupid video on Netflix, but I did. And it was them live, but it's just her and him. And it was fucking awesome. But he didn't, I guess, capture, and wasn't the front person, but it was the 2 people in the band that was doing the music. So it was like one of those, he totally got overlooked. I think they're actually playing a couple shows now. But
I've heard of that band, Dresden Dolls, but I've never listened to them. I don't know anything of what they sound like.
Midnight Madness, I think, is the one I like. Okay. It's good. It's just, it's good. I don't know. It's different. And, I have my thing for girl singers, so that falls right in the category. I mean, and I like her solo stuff. I mean, she might look, and all of our people in Massachusetts that listen to us, why the fuck you are listening to this, I do not know.
Yeah.
But let me know what his name is. I could look it up, but it's easier if you fucking tell me. Even though I think she just posted a picture with him. And like I said, for shows coming up, I just don't feel like going to Woodstock, I believe it is.
Oh, Are they an 80s band, 90s band?
Maybe a 2000s band, maybe a 90s.
Gotcha.
Oh, shit, that's a good question. I don't know. Like I said, I dig her a lot, but he's totally underrated in that fucking band, because like the fucking drums in half those songs, what to me keeps it going.
Gotcha. Well, did you have any other like underrated members / keyboardists before we move on?
No, but it was funny is when you said that. That's what I thought of her, because I was like, she's kind of underrated and she sits behind a piano, and then you think of all the other piano players. But I was trying to think of like just random, like just underappreciated people. Oh, the dude Craig that plays with everybody. Like all the hardcore bands, like he just fucking circles around. I know he's taken Pete's place and Sick of It All. To tour. To tour
Terry.
Europe. Yeah, dude, that guy, he's fucking everywhere and has played with everybody. And it's
he pretty much really has played with every New York hardcore band, I think.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking solid. So big props to him. I can't ever remember names.
I think he was, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I think he was in Rest in Pieces too.
Ooh, maybe. Or was he in straightforward, straight ahead?
I think he was in Straight Ahead as well.
Yeah. I think did he sing for Straight Ahead? Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, we're getting into where we need Justin's help with this.
Yeah,
category.
Justin or Gene, because I got that from Gene.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, like, and I think he even might have played in Youth of Today too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he did in parts. And that's another one where Ray and Porcel were the big names. Yeah, you had like Sammy, and I think it was Craig. Like we're members and we're solid members.
Yeah. No, that's a really good like a hardcore reference as far as like sort of in line with this game is like the two sort of like the singer and guitar player who like overshadowed everybody who ever they played with was like Ray and Porcel.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because they definitely like, I mean, they had a lot of really good players in all eras of all their bands.
Right. So
like, I'd say, like you said, like Sammy's probably like the one person who maybe stood out as much as those two did whenever they were playing together.
He seemed to be in as many bands as Mackie was.
Yeah.
Because Mackie played on fucking everything, though he might not get visual credit like Quickness. He was the drummer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he was fucking, what was it? He was drummer on, actually Age of Quarrel, but I think he was on another album and didn't get credit. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like he's played on a lot of really good shit and just, I don't think gets the credit.
Yeah.
But all right, go to your next one.
Yeah, so the other one that we were talking about doing was, and this one could be a huge rabbit hole. So it's different, like bands getting different singers and whether or not that added to, ruined the band, or they stayed neutral.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So here, I'm gonna say that Rollins is not my favorite fucking vocalist for Black Flag.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
He's not. I think Dez is the one I fucking like. Like to me, that was to me that epitomized what I wanted to hear out of a punk band at the time.
Yeah, I would say, and I 100% agree with you on that. I definitely. I do like Rollins era Black Flag. Don't get me wrong, but definitely not my favorite era. I think that I would say if I had to put them in order, that's a tough one. I think that like Ron and Keith are kind of tied for first for me, and then Dez, and then Rollins.
Look, now I'm fucking looking up just to make sure. It's certain I'm Dez. I'm in.
Dez is great. I love Dez. But yeah, Rollins is definitely my least favorite Black Flag singer. But I do like him, and I do like that era of the band. But I definitely do like Ron Reyes and Keith Morris era way better.
Yeah, I mean, I like Keith Morris, so that one, yeah, I would not. So go ahead, hit me with one.
Well, so.
Or do you have a fucking list?
Well, no, I do have a list, but I can pick because I was trying to think of all genres of music, and I ended up there's like way more than I thought there was. I was like, holy shit, I forgot about this one. Holy shit, I forgot about this one.
Phil Collins.
Well, Genesis is one.
Genesis, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one that I thought of. Well, so do you think Rollins hurt Black Flag?
No.
Like it was still good to you.
It was still good. No, I think what it was is just, and this is so, it's just tonally like I like how the fuck can you not like My War and shit like that? Like that's fucking phenomenal. It was just like if we're having a conversation and which one, Rollins is the face of the band, but early on they had good people. Like shit, I'm trying to think of another one. I know you've got examples. I've got other ones like Dropkick Murphys, that dude who didn't go past the first album. Like I fucking love that era of Dropkick Murphys. Like to me,
Gotcha.
that I like Dropkick Murphys, but the first album I like tonally. That's more my style. Like
Yeah.
it just vocally, like I like that type of vocal. So that album speaks far more to me than the other ones do. Don't ask me why.
Yeah,
Well, I just told you why.
I mean, I'm familiar with the Dropkick Murphys and I know who they are, and I know like a song or two, but I honestly I guess I knew they changed singers, but maybe that's why I didn't like them so much when I heard them recently, because I saw this live footage of them playing, and I guess it's their new guy who's been with them for a while or something. But
It's been a fucking 20 years.
yeah, but I was like, this guy, I was like, I don't remember the singer sounding like this guy. So I was like, maybe the guy who I liked is the original dude, and I just didn't even know that.
Because it was on, like, the first time I heard him was on the Hellcats record sampler, and I can't remember the fucking name of it. And that sampler was fucking kick ass.
Yeah.
But that was like the first song on there, I believe. Don't hold me to it. Actually, I think it is the first song, and it was just like so fucking good. And then, the album came out, and that was really awesome. Then I don't know. Okay, so if somebody correct me once again, you people up north. I think he turned out and he became a firefighter. I think that's how he went. Like, and it's a gamble. Fucking, are you gonna get blow up and be popular? Or are you gonna fucking,
Yeah.
Tour the rest of your life for $5 a show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, just like you said, you never know. Well, so I have pop, punk, and heavy metal choices. Do you have a preference of what you would like to hear first?
Let's go pop, and then we'll stop on punk. So we'll do metal in between.
Okay.
That'll give me time. I've got punk ones. Those are the easy ones.
Well,
Ish.
so the first obvious one,
And I'm coming across the fucking screen.
well, you go first, because I'm not.
No, say what you're gonna say, sucker.
No, well, because it's probably yours.
No,
go
ahead.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, I'm done.
There's Van Halen.
If you are a fucking Sammy Hagar fan, I'm coming through the fucking glass.
No, well, I didn't say I was Sammy Hagar. I'm just saying
thank the Lord.
That's a band that switched singers. So the question is, obviously, did switching singers hurt them or help them?
It helped them because they became a far more commercially successful band with Hagar at the lead.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess.
Well, how do you judge that? I mean, I like fucking David Lee Roth better. Like fucking, I like Eat 'Em and Smile and fucking Skyscraper. Like I'm down with David Lee Roth. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think
I'm not a Sammy Hagar fan. Like
commercially, you're right. I think switching singers was the right move, but was it the right move in the sound of the band? I don't think so, because like it's fucking David Lee Roth, or get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, no shit. And it's funny is I know people and like they're just like, no, Sammy Hagar's off. Like, what the fuck are you listening to?
Yeah,
I was like, it is not happening.
I can't. And whatever. Like, I guess if like a Sammy Hagar Van Halen era song came on the radio, like,
yes, I'd turn it.
I would probably turn it, or let's say you're at a concert and it comes over the PA and you can't control it. Like, I'm not gonna like super cringe about it, but I'm gonna be like, oh, why would you play this instead of a David Lee Roth song?
No, that is totally me.
Yeah.
And I know somebody that I live with that likes, well, she likes songs from the Sammy Hagar thing, but it's all preference. But it's for me.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't think yeah, exactly. I don't think they even, maybe some of the Van Hagar stuff as songwriting and sound isn't like the worst shit ever, but it's just like, I think they're just a really good example. Is if you get used to a band with a certain stylistic approach, and that's what you favor, it's going to be hard to stomach anything other than that for the most part. Another one, or go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm thinking Punkwood. So it's
Well, the other one I had too that was sort of more, I guess, well, not even that it's pop. I guess it's pop, but it's Journey.
dude, that dude's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm this is one that I had to put on the list because I'm fucking torn over this one because I fucking love Journey. I love Steve Perry, but like I honestly like I can't find any like legitimate reason to not like the replacement dude. Like because he fucking nails everything. It's like it's crazy.
So, okay, so let's break this out a little bit further.
Yeah.
He is there as, for lack of better, he's a mimic of Steve Perry. They picked him because they found him on fucking YouTube singing karaoke Journey songs, and he was fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And like the documentary I watched, like what's his name, the guitar player? What? Oh, he married Slahi. Oh my God, Michaela Slahi, when the big fucking scandal broke here, but he married her finally. But like he was like, no, like in the documentary, he was like, no, Steve would do this. Is like they were making him like a Steve Perry,
like cloning
clone.
him basically. Gotcha.
Yeah, or at least that's what I took from it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one for me because I always regretted that I never got to see Journey with Steve Perry, and I've had opportunities to see them since with the new guy, and I've been really close to like pulling the trigger on getting tickets, and I'm like, yeah, they're like I want to. You know what? Here's the thing. How I feel about Journey is like very similar to how I feel about Dead Kennedys. It's like I like the other dudes in the band for what they contributed to both those bands. You know, like the dudes in Journey and the dudes at Dead Kennedys, but it's like I want to go support and see those bands based on they had their role in the bands too, and I want to see them perform.
Right.
But it's like, can I get past the singer who I want to see not being there to pay to see it? Like it's tough for me. Like I don't know. I'm on the fence about both of those bands.
Then you got to do the John Bush anthem. Well, I guess that's metal.
Yeah.
But so what's funny though, it's metal, but when he came on board, they were pushing, I would say, less metal and more into that, like, not, how would you describe it? It was just definitely more commercial. Like, what was it, Lonely? Like that song sounded nothing like Anthrax.
Oh, Only.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was more, for lack of a better term, is radio friendly than fucking Indians.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, well, that era was like heavy metal was dead in that era, and they were like all those bands were doing anything possible to like stay relevant, and that was basically Anthrax's attempt to stay relevant and stay in the game. Was switching singers because they were just like, you know, we can't, if we're going to survive, we can't have a thrash sounding singer. We can't have like a heavy metal. I think
Belladonna might have left. I don't think they canned him, did they?
No, yeah, he got shit canned.
Oh, fuck, I didn't realize that. I thought he left.
No, they fucking like axed him for John Bush because they were basically like, we can't make the records we want to make with him. To like basically, like it never really came out as them saying this, but you know that's the reason. It's like, you know, obviously they probably were at a point where they felt like they're getting better at playing and they didn't want to just stick to the thrash formula, so they did want to evolve as musicians, and I can get that part. But I think underneath all of that, they still were like, Belladonna isn't going to be able to sing the new shit we're writing. We need like a more powerful singer.
Right.
So yeah, so for me,
I'm giving them the whatever because I'm Belladonna fan. So whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. Like, it's funny because we're talking about this because I definitely put Anthrax. As much as I love Anthrax, I still put them in the same category as Van Halen. Is that they switching singers was not the right thing to do, and I think
No,
it hurt them more than it helped them. And I like John Bush. I don't even dislike him. I just don't think he was good in Anthrax.
I agree, except for that fucking Lesser of Two Evils album.
Yeah,
That
yeah, we
one
talked.
fucking ripped buttholes.
Yeah, like that was fucking cool. And yeah, because I like some Armored Saint stuff. So I mean, it's not even that I dislike him, dude. That fucking first Iron Saint or Armored Saint album is fucking awesome.
um, okay, more pop.
Yeah, who you got?
I don't know. I'm asking you if you had more.
Well, I mean, another obvious one, and this is, I feel like this is a little more controversial than the Van Halen one because I think you have people who just don't like Sammy Hagar and only love David Lee Roth. And there's like maybe a small group of people who just like Van Halen because they like Eddie. And so they're going to like all eras of the band because they like Eddie Van Halen so much. But this band, I think, is pretty split to different singers. And I'm in the camp of I like both singers equal amounts, but that's Black Sabbath.
Oh,
And they had more than two singers. I think they had
yeah.
like four or five singers, but I'm just counting like Ozzy and Dio. Um, I still think like Ozzy, if I had to pick, obviously Ozzy Black Sabbath is my favorite era of the band, but I think Dio era Black Sabbath is equally as killer though.
Nope, I'm not going to agree with you. But I don't.
Yeah.
Once again, Dio sings in a way that I don't. I'm not into.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
he's right
definitely.
up your alley of shit you can't stand.
So Ozzy far more attractive to me than Dio. Oh my god.
Well, I have, dude, I have whatever. I don't even want to go over all the ones on my list because I have a lot. But another one that was like a standout for me though, just because they're one of my favorite death metal bands is Napalm Death. So not only do they fall into the categories of multiple singers, I also believe that they're a band who traded up every time and they ended up getting better as a band, having like different singer changes. So, because I think I might be blanking on my Napalm Death history, but I'm pretty sure that Barney is like the third or fourth singer, and he's been with them since like '89.
Yeah, that's
But
the name I know.
yeah, it's like it wasn't until he started singing, I think, is when they really sort of like came into their own and like really forged what they would become for the next 30 years, basically. And not that I dislike the stuff without him, like the early stuff's good too, but I think that was definitely a progression of every singer got better and better until they like figured out what they were doing.
Right.
Another band I think they got better with a later singer, and this is kind of a weird gray area because it almost doesn't count because I don't even think a lot of people even know these guys had an original singer, but it's Faith No More.
With Chuck.
Yeah, so I think Mike Patton was a huge improvement because I didn't like the first guy that much.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a lot different.
Yeah,
So how about this one? The replacement of Dave Mustaine by with Kurt Hamlet.
Kurt Hamlet.
Yeah.
Kurt Hammett.
Hamlet. He's an actor as well.
Um. Well, that's that's a good
Ooh.
that's a good one because I think that obviously Dave Mustaine is a way better guitar player, and I think he's a way better riff writer. However, I I think
Cannot fucking stand him. Go ahead.
yeah,
Keep going.
I don't think Kirk Hammett gets enough credit for his input in Metallica either because I think that a lot of people say he's not the most technically proficient guitarist and all that kind of shit, but I mean I don't know. I think his leads make sense for what they do. Like maybe he's not a shredder like Mustaine, but I think he's maybe a little more soulful playing than what Mustaine is. Um, and I think that for what Metallica ended up becoming, and it's easy to say now because we know like what route they took, but
Yeah.
I think the fact that they did take the route they took, having Kirk Hammett was the better choice
Hamlet, get it
overall.
right.
Yeah, Kirk Hamlet
Uh,
and
uh,
Dave Mustang.
mhm.
Well, okay, I know we've talked about this before. You don't like Megadeth,
No.
but um I've heard like I think I've heard two of the songs that are coming out on the new Megadeth later this year, and it's pretty insane. It is like probably some of the sickest sounding thrash that they've put out in a really long time. It's like really fucking fast and heavy.
All right. I will
But
have to. I will listen.
I know
I
you
will
don't care.
listen. I will listen. No, I
Um,
am dying. And so since this shit has started, my consumption of horrible podcasts has slowed down.
okay.
And but now I'm sick of my fucking playlist. Like it's incredible. Like now I like half the shit I can't listen to. I'm like, done.
What do
And
you
it's like
mean?
everything. Like it's weird.
Why do you think that is?
I don't, and we've talked about this before. I go through cycles,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess thinking more about it, and I guess because we talk about breaking shit down more, and I'll start listening to something, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like it's just, I don't know. But I know then in 6 months it'll come back, and I that's all I'll listen to. I'll be completely content with my fucking playlist.
Yeah.
But I'm at the part now where I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to strip shit out of it because I'm just like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Now there's so many podcasts I used to listen to that I haven't listened to in forever. It's like if whenever I'm doing computer work is when I'm into podcasts, and if I'm in a phase where I'm not doing computer work, I'm just barely on the computer, so I'm not listening to podcasts.
So this is where I was at today because I was trying to do homework for I guess the next category game, and I tried to stomach that fucking Twisted Sister album.
Yeah, God, I'm sorry.
That was fucking horrible, and
Such bullshit.
it, it was slow.
It's
Like
so
there
fucking
was
slow.
it is like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, don't even get me restarted on this.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. And
No.
then so I'm going to save the other band for the later game, but
Okay.
I'm trying to expand and listen to shit that I usually don't.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and there'll be bands that I'll found and like I'll listen to the album like it, but I'll pick like a keeper song just so like they'll pop up and I'll go back and listen to them. And but it's just not good. So anyway, let's continue on.
Well, did you have any other bands who changed singers who got better, got worse, or stayed neutral?
N- not that in this category. In
Okay,
the pop category, I'm just like I'm hurting. I know there's been huge changes, and there's stuff that's sitting in the back of my mind that I know I want to say, but I can't fucking think of it right now. So we should just move forward.
okay, yeah.
My,
Well, the only other ones I had in that category were that were kind of standouts to me were Judas Priest because they switched singers, and well, actually there was an original singer before Rob Halford at the very beginning of the band. That was short lived. And obviously Rob Halford was with them until like 90. And they had Ripper Owens for so many years. And like, I didn't like that era of the band. There's some people that do. I didn't dig on that. And then obviously Halford came back. Also Iron Maiden. They had three singers. So I'm a fan of the first singer. I'm a fan of Dickinson. Didn't like the third guy. Was glad Dickinson came back. And then the final one that I had on my list that was like well, the two standouts to me where I think the band basically stayed neutral by changing singers is Flipper. because Flipper had multiple singers, and when I saw them last year is when David Yao was still singing for him,
Mhm.
and he was an awesome singer for Flipper. Like they're so the original singer of Flipper, I think, uh, he ended up basically like the bass player and the singer like switched spots or something like that. But the original singer of Flipper, he was with them for like the first 10 or 15 years, and then they changed to David Yao, has been in the last like couple years. And he was fucking awesome, dude. Like honestly, I was kind of bummed when he decided he wasn't going to play with them anymore because I thought he was on equal playing field as the first guy. Like
Is
he
that
fucking killed
Bruce? I think was it?
Bruce Luce, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and then so I think that was a band that just like it doesn't really matter who sings for them. It's like it's kind of all about the drummer and guitar player in Flipper, and
right.
it's like they can kind of get anybody to sing. It's kind of like because Mike Watt even sings for him on time to time.
That's awesome.
So, but then the other band we've talked about this multiple times, but is the Misfits.
Oh, elephant in the room.
Yeah. So I mean, how I think of the Misfits, how I think about Black Sabbath is like Danzig era Misfits are always going to win out for me, but I do like Michael Graves era Misfits equally as much, just like I like Dio Black Sabbath. So,
Right.
um, yeah.
So, and it's weird. Actually, I find myself, I like the Glenn Danzig stuff better, but I find myself more, um, what do you want to say, inclined to listen to the full fucking Michael Graves era stuff. Like, I'm okay with sitting down, listening to Famous Monsters, like from front to back, and
I see what you're saying.
like
Yeah.
their stuff. I don't know. And maybe that's because of my playlist thing where I've heard stuff and it kind of throws me off. But I don't, like I said, there's songs that trigger, and I'll go back and listen to the whole fucking album because I like the album. So
Is there,
go
well,
ahead.
hold on. Is there an element to that you think that maybe is just the fact that Danzig Misfits are just you're oversaturated from your childhood and just you've listened to it so much, it's like the Graves era stuff is a little, it's like kind of newer in a way. Is that
That
part of it?
that could be a very big part of it. That I mean, but I almost feel like that there's more hooks in fucking those two Famous Monsters,
American Psycho.
American Psycho. Like there are songs that I'll hear it and get stuck in my fucking head, and I already have Forbidden Stones stuck in my head now for just bringing the shit up.
No, I
Because
agree. I agree with that. Those records are way hookier than any original Misfit stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and maybe 20 years ago I would say differently, but after having a chance to kind of absorb all of it,
Mhm.
except for that other later shit, then it is definitely like I can stomach. It's a hard word. It's what's to say. It's just easier for me to listen to the whole album, and I'm inclined to listen to the whole album.
Gotcha.
Where I can pull a hit, and maybe just maybe because it's been, it's like when people fuck around and screw up the order of a record or change the mix, and all of a sudden you're done with it when they put all the multiple different things of best of the Misfits Collection 1, Misfits Collection 2, and it has all this random shit, and it's same songs just moved around, and it was in this box set, and it was just maybe that's part of it where it's lost that continuity where you're used to that complete stream of music versus just one piece.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. That's actually a good point. I could actually probably think of some stuff that's similar like that for me. I'd have to think on that a little bit, but I get what you're saying. It's like maybe if it's fed you in so many different ways, like it starts to lose something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm just throwing it out there. Fuck, I don't know. Okay, so I have at least two, and if I keep thinking while we're talking, I might have more.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
my first one is Dag Nasty.
Oh, that's a really good one.
And I have to say, pants down, I fucking love Sean Brown. fucking Swizz, as you know,
Yeah.
I made my own fucking Swizz stickers for my car as a kid. Like, dude, I made, like, Gene got me sticker paper and I fucking drew out the Swizz logo and had it on the Swizzmobile.
Yeah.
So
No, that's a really, really good one. That's excellent. And I'm more of a Dave Smalley guy, but
well,
yeah.
with that being said, is I think that I like the Dave Smalley, that second album, the Peter one, the third one's, or the not second album. The first album is with Dave Smalley, second album's with Peter, but the shoving Sean Brown somewhere in between with the demos.
Yeah.
Like the Peter stuff's okay. Definitely that first album is fucking awesome. And the energy's there and
Yeah.
it's really cool. Second one, they got musically better. But
is that the Field Day one? Is that the one?
No,
with
that's
the second?
third one.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Wig
what
Out
the second.
Denko is the second one.
Okay, I like that record, but I definitely like Can I Say the best out of all of them.
So it leads me to think though, and I'd have to look at liner notes, but the songwriting and lyrically, like that first Dag Nasty album is a lot stronger than Wig Out at Denko's and all the other shit.
Yeah.
And like, is that, and I don't know this for a fact, is it because Sean Brown wasn't writing the lyrics for it? So those songs didn't convey, because if you listen between just lyrical content of the two albums, Wig Out Denko's and Can I Say, there's a distinct jump in lyrical styles. Like it is not the same. But if you listen to the first Swizz album and look at the lyrics and read the lyrics for that, there's a continuity. Like I could totally, and to be honest, I like this. I like Swizz better than I do the Sean Brown Dag Nasty. Like I don't even think they're in the same fucking ballpark.
Gotcha. No, I agree with that too. I don't dislike him in Dag Nasty, but I definitely always thought like Swizz was an upgrade for him big time.
So that was one that fell into like bands that blew me away. Like we went to see Dag Nasty, and I guess it was probably off Wig Out at Denko's at the old 930, but Swizz opened up for him.
Oh, that's weird.
And it, like, I had no idea who the fuck they were, but I was like, oh, like I was in awe. Like,
man, that's fucking cool show to see. That's like, I didn't even know you saw those bands.
Fucking mind melted. It was like, I don't know, like they personified, like I guess hardcore or what. I don't need, because they're not a hardcore band. I don't think they're such a hybrid of like their styles. To me, is completely different than most bands.
Yeah,
like they don't fall easily into the hardcore, because we actually went to so the place in Baltimore, Memory Lane, they used to have punk rock DJ, and I asked him to play Swizz. He's like, we don't play our hardcore stuff here, and I'm like, that doesn't fall in my category of hardcore. It was like it was funny. It was like it was a punk night, but we couldn't listen to Swizz. I'm like, I don't get it, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I digress.
Well, so you said you had another one.
Oh, yes, I do. Are you ready for this one?
I don't know if I am, because the Dag Nasty one was a really good one. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah.
So how about Dead Guy?
Ooh.
So
wow. I already know how I would go with this one.
How are you going with this one? I'm going to see if I agree.
No, I've full on and like first singer only.
Oh no,
Tim, or get the fuck out. Is that his name? Tim? Is Tim his name?
I think actually they might. No Escape actually put out a new record recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it's
fucking love those guys.
All right, so pause on. All right, so let's pause on that. So that we're way back machine. So one of the best fucking splits I got, I think, was No Escape and Turning Point.
Yep.
And that the fucking, because I don't know, I was never into tweening point, but the two songs on there were fucking awesome. And like the two songs on fucking the No Escape song, like I was down with them anyway. I didn't give a shit. I love them. But it was like it was a good introduction to me to Turning Point. Like I don't think I'd listen to the super straight edge.
Are you talking about the Rebuilding 7-inch?
No, it's like a split 7. It's got a black type. Well, here you go. Black type, red cover, red and white cover. It's some sort of pattern.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that because I think I have the Rebuilding comp that's got Turning Point and No Escape, but then there's two other bands on it too that I'm blanking on. Maybe Burns on it, maybe?
I would doubt it, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, okay. So let's go back to the other thing. No fucking way. Like, I loved No Escape, and I liked fucking Dead Guy with that dude, and I like Kiss It Goodbye. But the Dead Guy version with, what is it, Crispy? Is that right? Whoever sang.
I don't know because I heard that one time and was like, I don't like this.
God, you are fucking killing me. That fucking album is phenomenal. And it totally, I was in the same camp as you, but there was something that, you know why? Because I like Dead Guy so fucking much that I wanted to like that record. And it took a couple times, but all of a sudden, it's one of those records that it falls like almost like what I was saying with Swizz. It doesn't fall in a fucking easy category. Like it's its own kind of animal and beast. Like musically, I don't know. Is that a fucking hardcore album? I don't think so.
Like, do you remember what it's called by any chance?
Singing with the Dead Guy Quintet.
Oh yeah. Okay, because you know what, I'm stoked you brought that up actually because I'm wondering if it's time for me to give that record another chance, and maybe I'll think very differently about it now because I think back what happened for me. I remember this very vividly too because I mean you got me into No Escape and I loved that band. They were sort of like on the same playing field as Integrity to me.
Yeah.
And then
I think they had a split 7. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I think so. Well, when they started doing Dead Guy, I was all in on that because I was like, oh, well, it's the dude from No Escape, so I'm automatically going to like it. And I did like it, the fixation on a coworker. And then when Homeboy left, I was like, oh, now like that was my connection. The No Escape connection is gone for me now. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm still going to like it as much, but I'll give it a chance. And I remember when I heard it, I think I got a song or two in. I was just like, oh, this is not evolved No Escape for me anymore. Like I'm out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But maybe I was wrong and I need to like lose the No Escape connection in my mind.
I think you do because I think you can see that progression from No Escape to Dead Guy to Kiss It Goodbye. Like you can see that. Like it works. Like and his fucking lyrical style is awesome too. But sidetrack, Dead Guy does the best fucking covers ever.
Oh yeah? What do they do?
Oh my God. They did they do Horror Business on the Misfits tribute, but they do the It From Evil Live. So they do like the fake fucking like crowd noise.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. It is fucking phenomenal. And then I think the other one's a Black Flag song. And it's
I may have actually heard that.
One might have been off a Punk Rock Jukebox.
Okay.
But dude, their
cool.
fucking covers are like it's I don't they go back and recreate something, and it's funny is like there's an energy to that recording that it feels like they did that shit live. And the fact that they bleed into I believe London Dungeons, the next song on Evil Live, and you can hear them start the song and it starts fading out. Like it's like that, like on point. It is just so fucking crazy.
Gotcha. Well, so the screaming with the Dead Guy Quintet, I thought that was when they just stayed a 4-piece, right?
Yeah. Why is it a quintet? Fuck, who knows?
Oh, okay. That just kind of clicked in my mind. I was like, well, I thought like the bass player or something sang.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was like, it's just one of those. And I like noisy shit. Like, I like fucking noisy shit. Like, all right, Melvins drive me nuts sometimes because it goes too much. And you're
Yeah.
like, fuck it. Come on, dude, just play the song. But
Well, I remember.
I mean, I don't think anyone does it better, but there's a
Yeah.
point sometimes where it's like, ah.
No, I totally get what you're saying on that. Well, I mean, dude, I remember when the Dead Guy came out, when the Fixation on a Coworker came out. That was there may not have been a record that changed the game as like that record did for like, I mean, that was like the blueprint for, I can think of probably like 20 bands right off the top of my head that band was probably the blueprint for, like moving forward. Like nothing, there was nothing that I know of that sounded like that record before that. I mean, that recording was fucking amazing. And it was just, yeah, it was, I remember hearing that the first time, just like, what the fuck is this? Like this,
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like this before. This is insane. Like this is fucking insane sounding.
Yeah. And it just sounded like a fucking No Escape, like on crack. Like it was just like,
Yeah.
it was
It's like
next level.
Yeah, like No Escape, like got way more heavy and metallic, but started listening to like fucking Emerson, Lake and Palmer at the same time for like just like weird time signature shit, and just yeah, it's like insane.
I think, and maybe that's part, like they fall into that, like that record is in with like my noise, like, because sometimes I have a hard time focusing, as we've heard. Like when I'm working and I need straight up like just background, like that record goes in with like Calculating Infinity and shit like that, where it's
Oh
like,
yeah, well, I mean, if you don't have Dillinger Escape Plan if Dead Guy doesn't come along.
yeah, I believe that.
I mean,
I will buy
they were
that.
kind of the same time, but I don't know. I'm saying, I'm calling the Dillinger Escape Plan was heavily influenced by Dead Guy.
You know, I'm not going to argue that.
Um,
Ooh, I'm trying to find out who the fucking singer was. I think it was just.
yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
Well, so the final section that I had for our little games was continuing with the segue or the segment of bands with a hit song, or not necessarily a hit song, but band that has a song that is different than what all their other songs sound like.
yeah, I'll let you go with that.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, you don't have anything?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, I was kind of struggling with this a little bit at first, and then a bunch started coming to me. So the very
wait. Before we change
yeah.
TSOL.
Oh yeah, I have them on my list. Yeah.
Well,
we talked about them before too,
yeah,
but yeah,
but
that's a good one.
We needed to make sure that they got covered in this, in the and that one's a wash either way from anyway. I fucking like them. Like I said, Alternative Tentacles, when it was all kind of weird and almost gothy, to when it's gothy punk, to
Yeah.
I don't know, skate rock. Like any version of them I fucking love.
Yeah, and see, I had mentioned I'm not like, I don't hate the first version of the band, but I'm definitely I thought they got way better with the second singer.
Yeah, well, they're good, but I don't know. That's debatable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It's my opinion on that, but I definitely I've tried to go back and listen to the original singer TSOL, and like I said, I don't hate it, but I don't know. It just doesn't ring with me like how the other stuff does.
Is that gentleman Jack Grisham? I believe.
Yeah, that's the first guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm interested. I'm actually
Joe Wood is the second guy.
I'm and I don't like leaving the house, but I'm actually thinking about going to see. I guess it's Black Flag, TSOL, and somebody else is coming. And I'm almost to the point where I want to go see them just because I want to see TSOL. Because I've never seen them.
Yeah, I've never seen TSOL, but about 2 years, like right before COVID, Joe Wood, the second singer of TSOL, he has like his own version of the band that he does because he lives in San Diego.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so he just has some dudes playing with him, but yeah, they do all that like Revenge and like Change Today era
Oh,
TSOL. And it
that
was
would be fucking awesome.
it was badass, dude. It sounded so good. And it's like they played like every song you'd want to hear. Like they basically played those two records like back to back. It was fucking killer.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I would like to see that. I'm not
Yeah, and
flying to fucking San Diego to do it, but
yeah, no, I don't blame you. But it was if they ever play, you should definitely check it out.
what do they go under?
Um, I think it was like just something pretty generic, like Joe Wood's TSOL or something
Oh my
like that.
god, yeah. That's awesome.
I forget. It might have been something a little more clever than that,
Mm.
but yeah, it wasn't because they were selling T-shirts that had the Change Today cover with like the cards and the hand,
Yeah.
like the little hand and stuff, and it said like yeah, it said like Joe Wood's TSOL, I think. Um, but yeah, it was cool. But so the first band that I came up with a song that is to me, and this isn't a great um example of this, but it kind of is. So I fucking love this song so much. This is like maybe one of my favorite like pop culture radio type songs that I like more than like any other song. And you know this, everybody knows this song, and you might not know it by name, but if you would hear it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that song." But it's this song called "Bittersweet Symphony" by a
Oh,
band, The
the
Verve.
Verve. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so I fucking love that song, dude. Like I find that song to be like one of the like most beautiful songs ever written. I think it's like a really
Aw.
awesome song.
Aw.
But
But
n- none of
bass.
their other songs are nearly as good as that and are as catchy or as hooky. And like honestly, I own that record and I like have tried multiple times to listen to the whole thing and I can never get through it because it's like that song starts it off and it's like so kick ass and then it's just like it's a fucking snooze fest after that.
Oh, I don't know if that count. Well, I guess it does count. Yeah, okay. I'll buy that.
And I mean
That's
honestly
so
that's the
crazy.
song
Yeah.
is it's not like it's totally different from their other music, but it kind of is because they don't have any orchestral parts in any of their other songs. It's just like it's just very boring by the numbers like three-chord alternative rock.
So my question. So I throw it to you to look, and this is just me being. If there's two different producers,
Oh yeah, I don't that's a
you
good
know, like
call.
where the record company steps in, and that song didn't sound that way coming out of the gates. Like they turned it over to somebody and they pimped it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, like
Like,
maybe they were like, "Hey, none of these songs are a hit. Like you need to take the best one and like add some shit to it to make it into something that we can
mm-hmm.
make a hit." Cuz and like I said, I know that this example doesn't necessarily fall into our exact category we set, but that one really stuck out to me as the first time I heard that, I was like, "Oh my god, like I never thought I'd like something on the radio as much as I like this song." And then when I went
Right.
and checked their other shit out, I was like, this, I don't fucking like this band at all, except for like that song.
So,
Um, yeah,
so I throw to you,
yeah.
and so I went and actually, this is where I said I started trying to listen to shit. Is the Alien Ant Farm doing Smooth Criminal, the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
Michael Jackson song?
Okay.
So that song's kick ass. Like it's kick ass. Like it is
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
I'm
And
familiar with that
I
cover.
am not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
And I went to try to listen to the rest of the album and I had to turn the shit off. I think I think we need to start rating albums by how many songs you can get through it. Is it a full pull, like at a tractor pull, or is it like two-songer, like the Alien? Actually, I skipped through the first song, went to the second one, and turned it off. So I don't even know if it's a full song pull. But then, I mean, but they played forever. But I've never ever heard anything past that. So
Well, I don't even know what Alien Ant Farm even sounds like. So I know that cover, but beyond that, I don't think I know any of their material. Like,
I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know. It wasn't anything I was into because turned shit off right away. They're probably just like it was at a time around the new metal, but they weren't metally enough. I don't know. I remember a thing where they were on the Warp Tour and that song hit and they were like super popular and pissed they weren't headlining because like Fat Mike was on like these guys think they can headline, they haven't earned it. It was like
yeah.
Is like just because you have a hit song. I mean, but I mean they went on for a while, but it's just I don't know. I don't know shit of their catalog past that song. But that was one. But then to add to that, so I like the Avid Brothers a lot. And they never went major label for the longest time because they wanted them to do a cover. And they're like, I'm not doing fucking covers.
Wait, who is this?
The Avid Brothers. They're like
I don't know who that is.
Oh my god. They're like I guess folky kind of stuff. Matt will make fun of me. Aaron's not the only one who listens to it. But they're like, you know, it's like two brothers but they're actually Rick Rubin, I think, did the last album or the album before. Like he's that was their first major label album. Like they've been successful without him, but that was like their first major label and they didn't make him do the thing. But it was like it was a way that people, and I didn't think about it until they said it in the documentary, was that it's a way that the record companies use to kind of hook newer listeners in. So they give it's like something old, like Michael Jackson that was popular. And then it's you, Alien Ant Farm, doing a cover of that song. So you're starting to grab people that might not listen to you, but they're way down with Michael Jackson and it's a good cover. So it's kind of a way for them to kind of pull people in.
Well, that's really cool you brought that up, actually, because when I was listening to that Still Hungry record, I was doing some research on just like sort of why that all came about and like why they decided to do that. And they were talking about how, you know, the band was having disagreement with the producer at the time about they didn't really like how the recording was going. And he was like, I guess, trying to make things too polished. They wanted it to be like more raw and punk sounding. And the guy who had produced them, he had done a bunch of like big name stuff. So it was like getting him was, that was a big deal because I think he had done Motley Crue. I think he may have done maybe AC/DC. I forget.
Is he English?
I don't know. He definitely did Motley Crue though, because one of his like gimmicks with bands is that he wanted people to do cover songs because of like exactly what you were just saying, where it's like it makes like gives like an air of familiarity.
Yes.
Yeah, totally, to like bring you back to other stuff. And he wanted Twisted Sister to do a Saxon cover. And they were like so against it. And they eventually were like, no, we're not going to do it. But I was like, I kind of like, I don't know, like I get where they're coming from with that, because it's like to them, they're like Saxons are like almost like our contemporaries in a way. It's like it's not like an old enough style song to do. But that being said, it would have been cool to hear Twisted Sister cover a Saxon song.
Right. So that falls back to Quiet Riot.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they ended up, and they were against doing the cover, but they fucking killed it, and all of a sudden that was their big hit.
It may have been that same producer. I'm not 100% certain.
To look. Tom Werman.
That's him. Yep, Tom Werman. That's who did the Stay Hungry.
Oh, so he's from Boston.
Yeah, he did.
I don't have a Boston accent, so don't give me shit, people.
Yeah, he did Motley Crue. He did a bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, he was like super renowned at that point.
Oh my God. His discoveries include Boston Cheap Trick, REO Speedwagon, Ted Nugent, He's also brought Kiss, Leonard Skinner, and Rush to Epic. So he's got some shit underneath his belt.
Yeah, exactly. Like dude's like no joke. I mean, he was like a big deal, and apparently they were just like butting heads with him like the whole time. Like he was based, and like he defended himself in all the interviews I read. He's like, look, man, he's like, my job, I get paid to come in and take a band and turn them into something that can sell records. He's like that, like that's his job. So he's like, I did everything that was asked of me and I was successful.
Oh my God. Produced 23 gold or platinum albums, including Blue Oyster Cult, Molly Hatchet, Motley Crue, Twisted Sister,
Yeah.
Striper, Hawks, Kicks, LA Guns, Poison. Like, dude, he's got.
Oh yeah, that's the interview I read. He was talking about the Poison because the cover that they do was I think was his idea.
Oh, and I bet you then Smoking in the Boys' Room would have been.
Yeah, exactly. So like he had like brought all those ideas in to the bands, like we need to do a cover because that like makes a connection with people. So that was kind of his gimmick, was to like get bands to do a cover song, but Twisted Sister like refused to do it. And I mean, that record was commercially successful anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe they were right in that case, but maybe it would have been more popular if they would have done a cover. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely, I'm not going to argue with him. Well, I guess I can, but especially now, I don't think he's alive. But
I'm sorry, but everything that I read about Dee Snider and like my personal experience with him, like he just seems like such a fucking douche.
Oh, really?
Like I fucking will always love Twisted Sister no matter what, but he just really seems like such a peckerhead. I don't know. He's very, very like fucking living in his ego too much and shit.
So I know we had discussed this, but did you watch the documentary, the 3 or 4 hours of it on Netflix for Twisted Sister?
I think I did see it, but I can't remember for certain.
It was just really good, and I think it plays into what you're saying. But I mean, I have full on respect. Like those guys, nuts.
Gotcha.
So, go ahead.
Some other shit I have on my list. And this is one that honestly didn't come to me right away, and I was sort of surprised since it's like basically my favorite band. But is the song Pepper by Butthole Surfers.
I thought about that too today.
Because if you are like a big fan of them, maybe that isn't that far off the mark compared to some of their stuff. But like, let's say you don't know anything about Butthole Surfers and Pepper's the first song you hear, and then you're like, oh, that band was cool. Like, let me check out this album called Locust Abortion Technician. You're going to be fucking super bummed, probably.
And I like that album. I really like that album.
What, the one Pepper's on?
No.
Locust Abortion.
Yeah. But that is so fucking dead on.
Yeah.
Or if you heard the Jesus Built My Hot Rod.
Exactly.
And then you heard Gary Floyd after that, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Pepper. I mean, I love Pepper. I think it's an awesome song, but it's like if that was your introduction to them, you're probably going to be bummed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's a really good one.
Yeah. What else did so this is the song I was most proud of figuring out though, because I think this one more than anything else on my list perfectly falls into what the category actually is. Like how from last week you were saying how that Tad song doesn't sound like the rest of their shit. We also said about
I just want to apologize to everybody. My dog is trying to bury something in the floor.
into the wooden floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then that Happy Flowers song, Mrs. Lennon, we talked about. Yes. So like this is, I feel like, another song that falls perfectly into that. So it's the song Another Broken Heart for Snake by Circle Jerks.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I did not think of that one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I was proud of that one.
Yeah, that one's a what the fuck. Even when it came on, like when you first heard it, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, totally. So that's definitely one that I think if you heard that, and obviously I know that wasn't like on the radio or anything, but if for some reason someone back in the day made you a cassette comp of like a bunch of different bands and they put that song on there and you're like, oh, this Circle Jerks band, this is like a really pretty song, and you went to check their other shit
Oh
out,
my god, yeah.
you'd
That would
probably be
be
like, what the fuck is this shit? Um,
so I
yeah.
thought of so there was this girl and her name was I believe Tracy Bonham and she did the song Mother.
Okay.
Loki's agreeing with me. It was probably maybe 2000, maybe 95, 2000, somewhere in there. Anyway, the song was really, it was popular and it was really good. And I was like, wow, I'm going to have to buy that. Glad it didn't because our friend came over with the CD and
Mm-hmm.
she played it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like that song came on, killed it. And then it just went straight blah, or at least blah for me. And it might have
Yeah.
been my age, but it was totally like, what the fuck's the rest of this? It's your verb thing.
Gotcha.
It's just like
Do you remember what the song was?
the song was called Mother.
Oh, Mother. Okay. Yeah, I knew you
Yeah.
said it. I couldn't remember what you said.
But that was like one. And then I was thinking, is it because I think she was on like East West? And I kind of think like Civ, his Set Your Goals song is a really catchy, blah, blah, blah. And then the rest of the album is close to a Gorilla Biscuits album. It's, you know what I mean? It's not as crazy, but it's definitely that song is definitely a hook to get people in. And the rest of the album sounds completely, not completely different, but it's definitely a different key.
Okay, well, that's a great segue into talking about Civ because I I've always contended that as much as I love Gorilla Biscuits, that first Civ record, I don't want to say it's better than Gorilla Biscuits, but I like that first Civ record equally as much as I like Gorilla Biscuits. And if I'm in a mood to hear Civ sing, I generally will go to the Civ
Oh, yeah.
album over Gorilla Biscuits just because I think what we were talking about earlier, like I think I played Gorilla Biscuits out so much
I
as a
agree.
kid. It's like not that it's like cringy or anything. Like I still like that record, but I don't know. It's like there's something about the Civ that just rings better for me now. That I still like to listen to it. But all that being said, when that second Civ record came out, we fucking laughed our asses off about how horrible that was at the time. We all thought that album was shit, and that album was actually like a slapshot blast furnace like scenario for me. Like I think I actually remember like taking that out of my CD player and like fucking flinging it because I was like, this
Oh
is
my,
fucking bullshit.
that is
Um,
awesome.
all that being said, I like that record a lot now. I think that second Civ record is like actually like pretty cool.
I'll
And
have to listen to it. I don't know if I ever.
yeah, it's very, it's not at all like the first one. It's like they pretty much completely, there's like one or two like quote unquote like hardcore kind of songs on it, but the rest of it was just it's like a blatant attempt at them of like trying to like get a radio song.
Right.
And they did, there was one song off of it that was, I think it was, the song was called Superstar actually.
Ooh,
um
I think I
eh,
remember that.
yeah. And like, dude, honestly, it's like every song off that record sounds like it could have been like the intro of like a 90s sitcom.
That's awful.
Like it could have been like a replacement for the Friends theme or something. But
Oh fuck.
but anyway, that kind of made me think about what we had talked about before, where we had said about bands who like just, we talked about this episodes ago, like bands who have changed their sound as they evolve, like bands who like were hardcore punk and then went through their metal phase or their like rap core phase or whatever. But a band I just thought about today, um, that's a very like, I guess, a subjective kind of opinion thing, but did this band get better or stay neutral when they changed genres, and that is Lawnmower Death.
Well, you're not going to get a great answer from me.
Yeah, me either.
Because
exactly.
I love Billy.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck that. And I actually, Blake apparently wrote an article for, oh shit, it might not Revolver, but I forget the fucking, but he wrote an article and it's been in contact and it's trying to get him over here to tour.
Oh, shit. Wow.
And he said something to me and I'm like, so do you think they'll do anything off of Billy? He's like, no. I'm like, I probably don't want to go. I mean, I like the new album. Don't get me wrong, but fucking Billy it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a shit ton of there's songs I didn't know were covers that are covers, but it's just a good, I don't know. It's a good album.
Yeah. There's definitely some covers on there, but yeah, that's a band that is a standout band for me, that they completely changed what they did, and I loved it just as much as the early stuff too.
Yes.
Like it didn't deter me at all. I was like, it made sense, even though it was totally different. It made sense, and I like, honestly, I think it's a very similar scenario for me with those guys, where if I'm feeling like I'm in a Lawnmower Death mood, I'll Billy's my go-to anymore. Like, just because I wore the first two out so much when I was younger.
Yeah. I mean, there's every once in a while the metal bozo clowns, but really it's Billy. It's pretty much Billy. I mean, like I said, I've actually listened to a new album, and that one's good. Like it.
I didn't even know they had a new one out.
Yes, I do have a new one out.
Wow.
Oh. But
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've been out of the loop on those guys. I just figured they were just playing shows. I had no idea they were trying to like do an album and stuff.
Yeah, they did. I mean, probably in the last 3-4 months.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, okay, so your little misleader bands, if you heard it on a comp and didn't know, Bad Brains is an easy one.
I have them on my list. Like, if you heard like a reggae song, you'd be like,
and it's good.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly. But I was like, if a reggae Bad Brain song was your first introduction to them and you went and bought something, you might be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a huge reggae person and don't like punk, like you'd probably be like, what the fuck is this shit?
And on like Quickness cover, they got the look. I mean, you know, they got the look, so they could slide that by. It's funny. Like,
yeah, that's funny. I definitely had them on the list. That's good.
What else? I mean, because you could bring back like TSOL, like the end of, what is that album?
Oh yeah,
Change Today, In Time. That song,
I know what song you're talking about.
Does not fit the rest of the album. It was on like a thrasher skate rock. I forget which volume.
I'm thinking of the song. Now you don't mind if we drink.
Oh my god, that's a good one. No,
that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, How Do? Yeah.
No, it's a different one. I'm not singing it. Now you have to go back and listen to it. It doesn't sound, and Joe probably isn't singing on it.
Yeah, I think the song you're thinking of is a Ron Emery song.
It might be.
Ron Emery sings on that one.
That might be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good, but it doesn't fit the rest. Style wise, like it must have been right at the transition.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. That was like, they probably had that from the previous sessions and like brought it over because they needed a song or something.
Yeah. I mean, because it was on the skate rock, and that's where I heard it. And then when I got, well, because I had Revenge first, and then, but it, you know, the jump between Revenge and that song is like, I don't get it, but okay. It's still like Revenge. But then totally. It was like, after you start putting it all together, it kind of feels like that's what happened. Could be wrong.
Yeah, but so the last, well, not the last one, but another song that I think this one kind of rides a fine line between, maybe you could like fit in with other shit he's done, but this song kind of stood out to me, is the song Candy by Iggy Pop.
Oh my god.
Because Because I think that's a cool song, but it doesn't necessarily sound like
Him
any of
and-
his other music.
Is it Kate Pearson? I believe is her
Yeah,
name.
maybe.
Yeah, that is fucking funny.
Yeah. So I had that, and then so this is my trifecta tie-in though,
Okay.
where I had Geezer Butler as an underrated band member. I had Ozzy and Dio as different singers. And then Black Sabbath also falls into the category of having songs that don't sound like their other stuff. And they have a lot of those songs. So, because I was thinking of like a couple songs in particular, some of the more like they have like the little instrumental breaks on some of the albums that are like just don't sound like anything else, like the Superstar song, Orchid, Solitude. But then they have that song on the one end of the one record called Blow on a Jug, and Embryo and Fluff. So like I don't know, there's like a lot of non-Black Sabbath sounding songs that I think could qualify for if you heard them first and then heard like Into the Void, you might be like, what the fuck is this?
That's the whole Ringworm, where they did the cover, and that was on the Cleveland comp.
Oh yeah.
It was an Angry Simone's cover or something like that.
Oh, the Gimme Soper, I think, yeah.
And like I said, we would have never bought the fucking record, but some dude told Phil that he had to ignore that song, even though it was cool. That's not what they sound like.
Yeah,
it is totally not. And so, I mean, that's another one where it's like, what? But it's a cover. But I think like most of the examples that we've kind of, not most, but half, all come from about the same time period.
Yeah.
You know, it's when I guess right after grunge or during that period, it's a little bit after, but where all the alternative people like Iggy Pop come back, and who was the other one you said? But even Civ, like that's all in that like same time period where they're trying to bring them in, and it's just like trying to get commercial success. Good for them. I mean, I like Iggy Pop. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no,
I like B-52s. So F you.
And so I had some other stuff on the list too, but I don't think these necessarily. Well, the one that I do have is one that you said a few weeks back is Beth by Kiss.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's definitely one. If you heard Beth and you really like Beth a lot, you might not like other Kiss songs.
Yeah.
And then what else? So the other like bigger song I had is Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Like I honestly think that like that song sounds like them, but if you heard that and that was like your gateway to Metallica,
yeah,
and you like bought Master of Puppets after hearing Nothing Else Matters, you like might be bummed.
You could say that even with the Bob Seger cover.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that song is. And that's okay because I don't like Bob Seger either. So
I like some Bob Seger.
oh my lord.
I'm indifferent. Like I can rock it, but I also not something I'm gonna maybe put on.
Isn't that part of your boat rock or yacht rock stuff?
Yacht rock. No, I don't know. I don't think he's yacht rock. Maybe some of it. I don't know. Another funny one that I had though, that this is sort of just
he's
like
no Christopher Cross.
No, he's fuck no, dude. Oh fuck it. He wishes. Hey, shit. Whenever Bob Seger writes a song as good as Sailing, come fucking talk to me. Oh
my god. It's so bad.
But that my honorable mention that I had for this category, and I just kind of threw this in more as a joke because I don't think this necessarily counts, but is the spoken word portion on the end of the Uniform Choice record.
Okay, so I'm gonna one up you.
Okay.
How about the spoken word on the end of the Crucial Youth record?
Dude, I fucking swear to God, I've thought of the Crucial Youth too, but I went with the Uniform Choice. That's amazing.
Like Jedi Knights of Future Days. Oh, shit. Oh my God. So that fucking Christmas record's awesome. With
I was going to say, can we just switch gears and talk about how awesome Crucial Youth
fuck
is?
Yes. And I'm mad I missed them. Like that one is one I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah, well that's a good one to add to the list of bands that we never got to see that you're pissed about.
Yeah, so that one, but we'll save that one. We don't want to go down that tangent.
Yeah,
We'll stop that now.
But dude, Crucial Youth. So I always have to give you credit for introducing me to them or introducing me to those guys because never probably would have found out about them otherwise. And my first exposure to them was the Christmas EP or whatever. And I was like, I feel like after the Meatmen, that Crucial Youth EP, the Christmas thing, that might have been the next thing that really was a standout to me as far as sculpting my sensibilities on what I knew I wanted to do, like as far as funny punk music, like that's always really a standout to me. And then when I finally graduated to the Posse Machine and just how fucking awesome that record is, dude. Like,
oh my God.
I just got that. I picked that up on vinyl last year that they re-released it. And
did they?
I was so happy because I never had an official copy of that. So I was stoked to finally get that. And dude, I fucking played the shit out of that for like a month after I got it because it was just like it brought back so many awesome nostalgic memories of just
stop at the green, not in between.
Dude. Yeah,
dude.
Fucking
So
awesome. Positive Dental Outlook. It's fucking.
Oh my
that whole
God.
record is just so great.
So I listened to Crucial Youth so much. This is awesome. Here's the version history lesson number 4.
Okay.
Had no idea what the lyrics were to Crucified, even when we covered it. No idea. I always sang the Christmas time for the Skins.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea what the lyrics were for Crucified.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
I always
awesome.
so I always sang the Christmas time song. Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
Dude, well, so perfect fucking segue into the new game I was telling you about that I had. Or maybe this is something that more than any of the music games we've come up with, this is something I really hope that people play along with, because I know for a fact that there's people that have these, because I have quite a few myself. So it's time to let your guard down and come forward with your embarrassing moments. But it's lyrics that you were wrong about.
Oh, fuck. That's going to be hard.
So like something you thought was, like you heard a song, you're like, you think this is what they're saying, and you were saying it that way for years. And all of a sudden someone was like, what the fuck are you saying? And you're like, what? And then they're like, no, he's saying this. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm stupid.
Oh, dude, there's songs like on Fresh Fruit that I totally have no idea what the lyrics are. And I know what's in my head is not what the lyrics are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have to look up the lyrics and then I'll tell you.
Do you have any of those off the top of your head you can think of, like any music?
Like that one's the one that sticks out. And I always think he says Caballero Mountain, even though I know that's not, but I guess I was way into skating at the time and it made sense. But I don't know what the real lyrics supposed to be. It's from Stealing People's Mail.
I'm going to write that down because I want to listen to see if I can hear that. Caballero Mountain is what you think he says?
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Yes, there are ones, but that's the one that comes to mind fucking right away. And it's always horrible. You're like, God damn it. I know that's not right, but I don't care.
Well, there's that video that came out a couple years back of this. Somebody took the song Angel of Death by Slayer and they did like a parody video of it, and they changed all the lyrics to be like just different shit, but it's like a lyric video. So they're like playing the song, but their changed lyrics come up. So it sounds like exactly what he's saying, but it's these new words, but they changed the chorus to Hey Johnny Depp instead of Angel of Death. And it's funny because like, as funny as that video is, it literally ruined that song for me because God. I can't listen to Angel of Death now without like singing Hey Johnny Depp.
I know back in the day, David Spade had part of his act was like way back when, but he did like songs like that. like whatever the Tom Petty. There was a Tom Petty song he made fun of, and there was a bunch, but it was like definitely just shit you totally got wrong.
Yeah, well, I think the probably the most standout famous one of all time is the one that they did the SNL skit to. It's the I think it's Steve Miller Band. I think is it the Joker song or whatever, or it's like the
I'm thinking of a different one.
or maybe I've got the title wrong, but it's the song. It's like the card game song or whatever. Some another roller in blinded by the light.
This song's right. It was from The Vacant Lot, and it was Blinded by the Light. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but the show was Vacant Lot.
Oh, okay.
Because I still have held up like a loofah by the foreman of the night was one of them.
That's awesome.
I think I was the last one, and finally somebody jumped in. I was like, no. It's
because I always forget what he actually says. Like held up
like a deuce, another roller in the night, I believe is what it is.
I think that's it.
Oh my God. Okay, so misheard song lyrics. Oh my God.
Well, so
Bad Brains, that won't be hard, right? Especially the fucking Rock for Light and shit like that.
Well, do you have any from like when you were a kid that aren't like necessarily punk or hardcore though?
That I can remember. There are, but it would take a while. Yes, there are definitely a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
Like I would make my own shit up anyway, because like we were talking about in one episode is at some point, I guess I wanted to be a rockin' star. So
yeah,
like I made my own lyrics up for fucking I Get Around.
Because
I had no idea what fucking lyrics were. Like I knew the rhythm and I knew what I wanted it to do, but
yeah.
So I made my own lyrics up, which is it's what I do.
Well, you'll have to think on that and come back next time with ones you might have. But just to get you started,
all right,
I'll hit you with one of my most embarrassing ones from when I was a little kid.
Oh shit.
So the AC/DC song Dirty Deeds.
Uh-huh.
Which is dirty deeds and they're done dirt cheap, right?
Right.
So when I was a little kid, this makes no fucking sense at all. Like I was a little kid, so it's like I had no idea of thinking that this doesn't make sense, right? So it's just like what it sounded like to me, but I thought it was Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Jeep.
Awesome. I have one that Amanda called me out on, but I'll save it. It was a Duran Duran one. I'm gotcha. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And I listened to it, but that one was one that like, I swear to God, I read it in the fucking liner notes. Like, cause I was like, not positive what he said and read it, but she's like, no, it's not that. And I went back and looked, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not that, but
well, I dare you now for the rest of your life to hear Dirty Deeds and not think Thunder Jeep. Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Jeep. I was like, yeah, Thunder Jeep. That's fucking heavy. That sounds awesome. Like they're singing about, like they're like you're being a badass in a Thunder Jeep. Like,
oh
Dirty
my
Deeds
God!
And your Thunder Jeep.
Oh my God! I found the title for the fucking episode.
Nice.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's pretty perfect, actually.
Oh my God!
So yeah, that one made me a little sweaty admitting to that.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch.
Yeah. That's like the main standout for me. I know I have other ones, but that's the one that, well, because my aunt, she like always like fucks with me about that one because I was with her when we would listen to that and stuff. So
that is so fucking awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's one you can think on and hit us with some knowledge next time.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, for the shit we listen to or used to listen to, I mean, it's really fucking easy. There's a reason the lyric sheets came in them.
Yeah. Well, so this is maybe
that could even fall into this category. Go ahead. Let's say what you're gonna say.
No, go ahead. Because I'm going off on a different tangent.
you could also do albums that you still have no fucking clue what they're saying, and they're in English. Like Blythe listens to the K-pop, and she has no clue what the fuck they're saying unless it's subtitled. So, albums in your native tongue that you have no idea what the fuck they say on them.
Oh, well, that's like a lot. I've never really been a person who, I don't know. I'm very like hit and miss with paying attention to lyrics. Like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Like there's tons of music that I listen to where I have no clue what they're saying.
Right.
Like I've never been too much into like reading lyric sheets.
So for me, it migrated. Like I think as I never listened to vocals. And then Cowboy Carl bitched one day that nobody fucking listened to the bass player. And I think Rod might have even brought it up about bass. And actually, he was like, back in the day, he was like, Appetite for Destruction, that's one of the best bass sounds out there. Because it's clear, you can hear it. It's distinct, but it's not, overpowering. Like listening to it now, I can hear it. I get it. It's like, but stuff like it depends, I guess, what I'm listening for, or I guess how you're using the music. Like I said, like the Dead Guy is just fucking brain filler.
Yeah, totally. Like I said, there's some shit where I get down on the lyrics, and some things I don't. I don't know. It just kind of really depends. But yeah, Appetite for Destruction is, I think that's one of the best recorded albums of all time. Like that album has one, it like really does probably have one of the best recordings of that era out of anything. I mean, it is just like, it's insanely recorded, like perfectly.
Right. I don't think I could even counter that, because
it's like that's an album that you can listen to at like any volume and it like always sounds killer.
So I totally remember when like they broke. It was like they did, I guess, a concert on what had to be MTV, but it was like Headbangers Ball or something, like one weekend. And like after that, it like blew up. Like all of a sudden, I don't remember if it might have been 88. No, maybe 80, 89? Does that sound about right? When did Appetite Destruction come out?
87, I think, actually. But
really?
It came out in 87, but I don't think it like popped off until a year or two later.
That's what it was. It's like all of a sudden they went from 0 to 100. It was like whoosh.
Yeah. All the cocaine.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
But because it went from like not seeing anybody wear shirts or talking about them to like the next day after, not next day, but next week at school, all of a sudden the shirts started popping up where it was I want to say Robert Williams art with the girl with her pants down around her ankles.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden they were like everywhere and everybody was talking about them. But it was like,
so what you're trying to say is that there was a lot of your classmates that were spending lots of time at C&O Canal Days winning some fucking t-shirts.
Yes, absolutely.
Throwing darts at balloons and winning Guns N' Roses t-shirts.
Fucking awesome. Or tapestries.
Yeah. Or Coke mirrors.
Oh shit.
That's amazing. Yeah, dude, that fucking record. That record, that's a record that I liked even when it came out. Like I was full into punk and hardcore at the time, but I still made room for Appetite for Destruction. Like I've never like pretended to not like that record. I've always fucking liked that record.
So I was a little bit different. I was a hater. And then I started giving them credit when they did the shit. I think it was Lies, Lies, Lies. And there was a video from it. And the bass player was wearing a TSOL shirt. I'm like, all right, maybe they, it was like one of those things. I was like, maybe they're more legitimate and they didn't, get put together in like 2 days. And then everything was kind of done for them.
Yeah.
Type of deal. But like, so this is like, I guess more bizarre is, I didn't hate them, but like, I liked, like, what was it? November Rain. Like, I liked that one Like when that came out, that was a song I liked, and it was
Yeah.
only for that fucking the part at the end. Like to me, that's just fucking phenomenal. The rest of the song's just filler to get to the end.
Oh, well, that makes sense too, because that song kind of falls into like what you were saying about liking like the big orchestration and like big like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
production and
Fuck yeah,
stuff.
dude. That there is fucking phenomenal. Just the build up and then the big solo over it. It's really good. But after shit. So here's how I learned to accept and love Appetite for Destruction. I drove to Haggers or West Virginia to pick up my dad, and he jumped in my car and he didn't want to listen to anything I had. And he had 3 CDs.
Uh-huh.
He had, oh fuck, I can't remember what the third one is. One of them was Look What the Cat Dragged In. And the last one was Appetite for Destruction. I was like, those two of those CDs are not being played in this fucking car. I can tell you that already.
wait, what were they again?
One of them, I think, was Look What the Cat Dragged In.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And it had to be another like cheese metal from that time.
Okay,
like,
and then Appetite for Destruction.
And I was like, we can listen to this one. I will not listen to the rest of this shit for an hour and a half. Like we will listen to this one and that's it. And then I guess like after he passed, that was like one of the CDs that was left in the truck. So that, as weirdly as it sounds, the album has like more sentimental value to me than it does like, give or take it. It doesn't, I mean, would I go on my way to listen to it? No, but there is definitely more of a sentimental value to it. That and something, so fucking Neil Young, The Harvest was in the cars in his truck as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like thinking of that car ride, I would have been hyped on that car ride no matter what got put in, because I was like, dude, Look What the Cat Dragged In is fucking awesome.
No, dude, that was not getting played. It was just fucking, I kind of, you know what? I think it was the first Bon Jovi record.
Oh yeah, nice.
Was that did it have like red, like a red graphic on it? Like I think that might have been it. And I was like, dude, no, that I'll listen to. The rest of this shit you can leave here because it's not coming.
Well, I do like with the cool like TSOL tie-in. I'm pretty certain that like those guys were like really good friends with the second era of TSOL, and like I think they even like played shows together. Like Guns N' Roses was pretty instrumental in making TSOL kind of like reach a new level on that like record after Revenge, because that's sort of when they went like full like glam, like blues glam style, and like they were playing with Guns N' Roses and shit. I think on like when Guns N' Roses like popped off, like they were opening some of those bigger shows. So they definitely like got to like coattail ride a little bit on some of the Guns N' Roses fame.
Oh, so here's one, but I don't know. Does it count if the singers pass away or the players pass away? Because we're not Cliff Burton, but the original. So I've heard the original Skid Row was really good.
Oh well, I have them. They're on my list.
Oh well, why didn't you fucking say them?
Well, because I have so many things on my list, I just didn't want to read everything. But yeah, like to me, like it's Sebastian Bach or fucking Get the Fuck Out. Like if it's not original Skid Row, like
no. There's a guy before him.
Oh, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah, there's a dude before him, and apparently he was really good. And then I think he died. I think he OD'd or something. And Sebastian Bach took over for him.
Oh, okay. Well, because so technically then their third singer, who was the guy after Sebastian Bach, who was with them for like 20 years or something, who I didn't like that guy in the band, but he just passed away recently too.
Oh,
but
wow.
They have some fourth singer now. And apparently the new guy is like pretty good, but it's just like, that's a Van Halen scenario for me. Like, I don't fucking care who you get to sing for you. Like, unless it's Sebastian Bach, like, I'm sorry, but I just don't give a fuck.
So, and I would like to pull back that I used to laugh at you guys saying how good Slave to the Grind was. and
Yep.
it's really fucking good.
See,
And I was like,
you're welcome.
no, well, so we used to listen to the hair metal station a lot.
Yeah.
And like when Slave to the Grind came on, it was so different. Like I knew it right away because
Yeah.
it was just like it went to 11 where everything else was at 10. It went to 11. Like there was like the drums came in, you're like, oh, it's gonna move.
Yeah. Dude, I don't care, man. I'll defend those first two Skid Row records any day of the week. They're fucking awesome, man. They're heavy. Like those guys were in a league all their own, in my opinion. Like they were like, honestly, how I saw fucking Skid Row is Skid Row was basically like if you mixed like all the good elements of like all this the stuff that's maybe like the good best parts about glam metal, but then also mix in Wrathchild America is like what Skid Row was.
Yes.
It's like there's like a punk edge to it and like a heaviness that the other bands like just didn't have. So
is our love for Wrathchild because of where we grew up, or are they legitimately that good?
No, I've talked about this with people before. Like I think if I've tried to separate myself from the nostalgia of like listening to those records growing up, and I think that if I didn't have the local history of that band, I might not like that record as much, but I think I would still like it because I don't know. I think musically that record really aligns with things that I tend to like.
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, look back at it, like Wisniewski, he had no ties to the area and he fucking loved it. Like,
yeah,
that was his shit. And he turned all of his friends onto it because it was the shit. And like, it took off like a bat out of hell. Not like Meatloaf, but so well,
I was thinking about the Meatloaf thing from last time. You said that guy was a Jimmy
Steinman,
that he wrote that record basically, and like Meatloaf was basically the puppet.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's crazy because like I never knew that. I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised by that, but I don't know. It's just kind of funny that someone somewhere was like, this is the guy that makes sense to like front this like idea.
Yeah. So it's funny is for those of you that watch ESPN and watch PTI, he went to school with Tony Kornheiser. And so he knew him, like they went to school together. And that's why the whole like discussion started when he passed away. And he was like one of like, if he talk about famous people from his high school, he was one of them. Don't ask me to tell you the rest of them because I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, that's
Louise Gluck.
What's that?
She's some fucking contemporary poet. She's from there, but it's all like death and drooly type poetry.
Gotcha.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, yeah, dude, I think we hit on some good music sensibility.
Oh, I got another today. One.
Oh, you do?
Well, this is AC/DC.
Yeah, that's on my list too.
Well, okay, for the rest of us that can't see your fucking list, what's on it?
Well, I mean, it's just I was just trying to hit on like some of the bigger ones, but I mean, I can read you. Here's my full list of bands who switch singers. I have we already talked about Flipper and Van Halen, TSOL, Pink Floyd, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, AC/DC, Journey.
Wait. I gotta stop you. Even though we're doing this, Pink Floyd, I actually like. I know I'm not being a contrarian. I actually like the fucking Syd Barrett stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't
really fucking dig the early stuff. There's shit on those records that are just, it's fucking crazy. And there's stuff like I played for somebody and he's like, what is this? I'm like, it's Pink Floyd. Like it was like, I'll have to send you a song.
I need to
think about what it is.
I've listened to all their stuff and I've given that era multiple chances and I just can never really dig on it. But I don't know. Maybe I need to
And
it a nut.
that falls into the category because like he was the fucking architect of
Yeah.
that from the beginning.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
absolutely. But
then
then
he went nuts. Go ahead.
I have Foreigner.
What? Who switched out?
Yeah, they had like multiple singers.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah. I said Faith No More.
Yeah.
One I didn't say that was a like a thrash metal kind of one is that band The Crown.
Okay. I don't know.
They had a temporary singer switch. The original dude left, and the singer of At the Gate sang for them for one record, and then the old guy came back. COC.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Exodus, we've mentioned them before. Morbid Angel had two different singers. Cannibal Corpse is another big one that had a singer change that is debatable whether, I in my opinion, I like both singers, but I think they became more commercially successful when they had a singer change. Rainbow,
Oh my god,
another
that's
Dio
cool.
reference.
It did. That also goes for Deep Purple.
Yeah, well, they're on my list.
Oh fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Keep going away, list master.
So yeah, Deep Purple, and Deep Purple also falls into. I had John Lord on my list as underrated keyboard players.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Halloween is a metal
God.
band with multiple singers, and that's a scenario where I feel like I have a favorite era of Halloween. So I know like everybody kind of has their like thing about Halloween.
I remember this goes back to our Tom Cook story driving into Cedar Crest, but he listened to fucking Halloween. What is it? The Keeper of the Seven Keys or whatever the fuck that was.
Part 1 or 2? Probably
part 1. But like, I want to go back and listen to it. Like, I remember the first song being awesome. I don't remember the rest of it, but they fall into that metal vocals that I'm not into.
Yeah, but I can see that. Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 though, that's my jam. That's like my go-to Halloween. I fucking love that album. It's like that is a banger from start to finish. There's not like a bad song on there. And while you know what? This is funny because this can coincide with guilty pleasures as well. I can't believe I failed to put this on the list last time. And laugh all you want, but don't fucking laugh until you actually listen to the whole thing and give the whole record a chance. At a job I had years ago, this dude I worked with, we ended up becoming pretty good friends, like outside of work. And he is into music and stuff. And we'd always talk about, we'd turn each other on to different types of bands and shit. And one of his favorite bands was Europe. And he loved the Final Countdown and shit. And I was like, obviously, like that song's cool. He's like, no, dude. He was like, the Final Countdown is like their sort of like radio hit. He's like, their other shit doesn't even hardly sound like that. And I was like, really?
Amanda has a bunch of it in her playlist.
Yeah, he's like, dude, we're going to listen to that whole record at work one day. So like a few days later, he like brought it in. This is before streaming and stuff. I think he had it on CD or something. He brought it in. And dude, I was like, I have to eat crow on this one. Like, this record's fucking badass. There's like a lot of like really good songs on that fucking album.
Yeah.
So yeah, I became a firm believer in the Final Countdown as like a whole is a fucking really good listen. So yeah, anyone who only knows the Final Countdown, I highly recommend checking out that entire record because it's fucking awesome. But yeah.
All right. So recap. We're looking for, oh my God, the misheard lyric game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then add-ons to this, because I know we've missed a million fucking bands.
Oh, there's so many.
Did you even finish your list? You stopped at Halloween. I sidetracked after that.
That's just. I know I have way more, but that's all I actually wrote down to mention. Let me look and see if I had any of the other stuff. So this is a song that this doesn't really count, I don't think, because this song doesn't sound that much different than their other music. But maybe if you're a casual music listener and you heard Punk Rock Girl by Dead
Oh,
Milkmen,
I thought about that too.
yeah, like that one, that could maybe throw you off to some of their other stuff.
But what's
And-
funnier is I would have put the Instant Dance Club hit
Oh,
as the
yeah.
outlier on that album.
That's a good call. That's a really good call. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
would be the
God.
one that might throw you off even more, actually. Yeah, but I think that's it. The only other song I had, and this is kind of in the same realm as Punk Rock Girl, but the song "Take the Skinheads Bowling" by Camper von Beethoven.
Right. I know what
That-
you're talking about.
That's not entirely different from their other stuff, but it's different enough that I think if you heard that and then heard the other shit, you might be like, "Oh, whoa, this other shit's kind of weird." Like not the same band.
Right. I I don't know if I ever listened to them at any great depth.
Yeah, they're cool. I like those guys. Well, they ended up becoming
Cracker, isn't it?
Cracker, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And then they made
cracked-
money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's a band that totally kind of changed their sound, and actually, they still do like both bands though. I think sometimes they'll play and they do like a double header, like they'll open as Camper von Beethoven or Van
Oh, really?
Beethoven,
That's funny.
and then close with Cracker. Yeah. But yeah. That's a band I recommend checking out if no one's ever checked them out. They're cool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
So yeah, I think
I think
We
he
fucking-
killed it.
we hit on everything. I think we both had some pretty good shit.
And I know we're missing him because, like, I'm thinking, like, I mean, what does it count? Because Neil isn't the original singer from Clutch.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was somebody else before, but it was before I think they broke up and reformed with Neil. Like, I think like they were a band, like the dude went to Towson, and I think Kate and Jen met him at a show. And then oh yeah, how about the P Tanks? I think Clean Air, even though the metal version of the P Tanks was cool, they upgraded when Clean Air took over.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a
Yeah.
metal version of the band.
Like the earlier stuff's it's definitely different sounding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of that at all. I'll have to look. Do you know what any of that's called?
I can't remember. Exodus, Buttman, and Love, or something like that.
Oh, I do. Well, I do remember that title vaguely. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, we just
But
went really local on you guys.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't.
not local to Hagerstown, but
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. That gives me something. I do remember that title, but I didn't know that that was like a different sound or anything.
yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I forget what the guy's name was. I mean, they were this close, but I don't know if he didn't have time for it or whatever, and they got Clean Air, Chris, whatever you want to call him.
Mhm.
And then they went into more of like that more of, what do you want, like Southern California style, like, what record label am I thinking of? Not Fat Records, I guess Epitaphy at the
Epitaph?
time,
Yeah.
like back then at the time. But
Yeah. I kind of feel like they were a band that they sort of had like a pretty unique style for the era that they were existing in.
yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, they definitely, I dug them, but
Yeah.
that's not
I
fair.
still listen to that shit from time to time.
Oh, I've listened to Picnic with Your Mom or whatever that one is.
Yeah. That one's really good.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode we can get into, like local bands that should have
did better.
become more than what they did.
Yeah. And
There's a bunch on that list.
yeah, it's weird. That one's definitely a weird game to play.
Well, the one that really sticks out to me, just to kind of like start it off a little bit for next time or whatever, but I like the one band that I think kind of quote unquote made it more than any other band I can think of from bands we played with from back in the day is Inquisition becoming Strike Anywhere.
I actually I was thinking about that while you were bringing it up because I want that fucking demo. I think Kate has it, but it's on a
Yeah.
cassette. But yeah, they were really fucking good. I mean, even the Inquisition stuff was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Strike Anywhere is cool. I like those guys. I haven't heard any of the stuff they put out in the last few years or whatever, but I have like their first two or whatever. But I
Yeah,
still
that's what I have.
I still think like I like the Inquisition better.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's
do
just
too.
a nostalgia thing. I don't know.
It's that one. It's kind of more in line with what I like in music. I don't think it was if I am remembering properly, it's a little bit heavier. I think is the way I want to say. Not heavy like as in metal, but it's got a
Yeah.
different tone to it.
Well, I know that I still have a cassette of that demo you're talking about that I copied from you, but I don't know. I guess I still have it somewhere. But I'm sure that stuff's got to be on like YouTube or something.
I have not looked, so I don't use YouTube that way. I watch Time Team. That's about it.
What is it?
I said I watch my Time Team on there. But that's about it.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's my archaeology show.
Oh, that's that thing. Gotcha.
We're all
Cool.
about supporting English heritage, I guess.
Well, shit. I think
I think
I'm
that's
gonna-
it.
I think I'm gonna go listen to some Dag Nasty and Crucial Youth right now.
Well, dude, I did, fuck. What can I say? It's still a good album, or can I say however you want to say it? It's still
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that in a really long time. That's a good call on that. I'm gonna get
It's
that
funny. Is it now? I think because I wore out certain songs because of building comps that like there. I like some of the songs I didn't like as much now, more so than I did then, because I haven't heard them a million times.
Gotcha. Well, my homework assignments I'm going to set for myself for next time is I'm going to give a new listen, updated listen to the Screaming with the Dead Guy quintet. And I'm going to report back if it feels different to me nowadays, because it's been probably over 20 years since I like last tried to listen to that. So maybe it'll hit different. To me
Yeah,
this time.
it probably won't, but I love it. I don't know
It
why.
might.
Just
But yeah, I'm going to check that out. And there was something else too. What was Alien Ant Farm. I want to check those guys out and see what they even sound like.
All right. So the covers on Anthology. It's I think their first record.
Okay.
They little play on words there for you. And then I don't know. I'm gonna go dig some shit up and start finding lyrics that I always fuck up.
Yeah, Caballero Mountain.
Caballero Mountain. Something else. Then it's rummaging through your mailboxes and I'll take your mail back to town, I think, or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
well, I think that's like an awesome time to fucking wrap up.
I already forgot what your monster truck thing was.
Oh, Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Jeep.
Thunder. Yep. I'm writing that shit down now.
Yeah. So if anybody has funny words of songs they used to think they were as a kid or even recently, post them up on the website because we'd love to hear them. Embarrass yourself with us, please.
Hells yeah. All right, kids. I got to piss.
Cool.
It's not an official potty break. We're shutting this shit down.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Be safe out there. See you next time.
Send dick pics to Jonathan.
No, please don't do that.
Adios, motherfucker.
Later. This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth Records. Contact us at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com and find us on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks. Top that, bitch!